Alright, are you helmets ready to outskill your opponent? The new towers here, aka the new B.E.S, they've got a lot of potential here in the future. We only got an announcement of one card, but people are already destroying people with one of the new cards, which is Great Fortress Zelos over here. So when it's activated, you can add a boss rush, which we'll go over in a second. But anyways, all B.E.S monsters and big core monsters gain 500 attack and defense. Your opponent can't target them. They can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And then once per turn, you get to special summon one B.E.S monster or big core from your hand. And then if a B.E.S monster or big core monster is normal or special, you get to place a counter on a monster or monsters that can be used for its own effect. But if you guys don't know what the B.E.S are, they're basically big beaters. Well, once they get the small boost, most of them are pretty big once you increase it by another 500. Most of them have the effect where they cannot be destroyed by battle, and they have these tokens on, and you remove the tokens later on. But it doesn't really matter because we'll go over a boss rush in a second. So basically, you have a bunch of these monsters, and you can just special summon them. You get to add a boss rush. And they have decent amount of attack. They can't be destroyed by battle, can't be targeted by your opponent's card effects, and they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So you can see it's basically just make towers as quickly as possible. You can even throw out the number 21 Frozen Lady of Justice. Pretty good card indeed. And again, pretty much you've just got these cards that just have a decent amount of attack, but again, they have an effect where you get to place counters on them. But anyways, can't be destroyed by battle. Most of them again have that effect. I don't know if we'll get any more monsters. I want to say like we'll probably get some more support for them. I don't think they just give us one support card. But anyways, when it attacks, you toss a coin. Oh, well, if I could... Well, we'll go over... I'll read its actual effect in a second. But anyways, basically, they have this ability to add counters. And then once it battles, usually you remove a counter. Sometimes you have to flip a coin. Sometimes you have to do other things. But it's irrelevant because of Boss Rush. So you can normal summon... you cannot normal summon or set during the end phase of the turn that a B.E.S monster or big core is destroyed and sent to the graveyard. You have to just special summon one from your deck. So even if your boss monster leaves, it's going to just come right back. You're going to get whatever you want out of your deck. Pretty OP, pretty easy condition. And this card basically protects your cards. Now, it's not necessarily as good as Towers because Towers has immunity on its own. It doesn't need any support card because if someone makes a card, gets rid of this, and then they can actually get rid of your monster. I guess at that point, yeah, your monster kind of sucks. But the thing is, even if they get rid of the monster, you're going to get that effect of Boss Rush because if you're activating this, you're going to add that Boss Rush for free anyways. So it can be really nasty to run to. I mean, look at this board right here. He's got 4 monsters that can't be targeted, can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And again, some of them have that effect where they have this counter thing. Again, it's pretty much irrelevant because of Boss Rush, but nonetheless... let's go ahead and just kind of go over some of their effects right now while we're watching this last replay. And I'll give you guys the deck profile so you guys can mess around with this deck. But the key thing to destroy is the Great Fortress, and then you can kind of get rid of certain things. But anyways, we see Crystal Core over here. So you put 3 counters on. I guess you technically put an additional one if you had the field spell. So if it attacks or is attacked, you remove a counter and at the end of the damage step. And then if you cannot, you have to destroy the card. But it doesn't really matter because, again, you're going to get that free extra card anyways. Heck, you can get a monster that has even more attack. Now, at the moment, there's only 4, I believe, B.E.S. But it's so crazy that we're getting B.E.S support next year, guys. I never thought this archetype would get support. Like, this archetype is pretty bad on its own. Like, before we got the support card, let's go ahead and now check out the deck profile. Let's just kind of talk about some of the other cards. So... anyways, if we look at the B.E.S archetype, we only have 4 monsters. There's only, I guess, 5 cards that are out now. And again, this new card, it's just 1 card. It makes the deck pretty much a contender to actually defeat your opponents because if they don't get rid of this, they just kind of lose. Again, it's like a Towers. A lot of decks can't really deal with multiple Towers. And you guys saw multiple times there was just multiple monsters out on the field, so sometimes certain decks only have like 1 out to these. But the thing is, these can't even be destroyed by battle. A lot of time the Utopia Lightning is made, and then they get over like those Raid Raptor cards or the Towers. But the thing is that these cards can't be destroyed by battle. So at that point, the monster stays on board, and even if they were able to somehow get rid of it, you still have that free extra card that you're going to be getting out with Boss Rush. But anyways, let's go ahead and go over the effects and go over like a brief little deck profile, but it's pretty simple. Anyways, we got triple copy of every B.E.S. So first off, we had Covered Core. So this one you put 2 counters on it, and then if it attacks or is attacked, you flip a coin, and then if you call it right, or call it right, nothing happens. If you call it wrong, you remove a counter. And then if this card battles without a counter on it, you destroy it at the end of the damage step. But it's irrelevant, again, because you get this out. The other card, Big Core MK2. So if you control no monsters, you can normal summon it without tributing. But when it is special summon, you get to place 3 counters on it. Can't be destroyed by battle. If this card attacks or is attacked, remove 1 counter from this card at the end of the damage step. So this is actually one of the cards that you can summon with out using anything, but at that point, it's just going to get destroyed, which again is not really that bad because Boss Rush. Next up, we have 3 copies of Big Core. So this one, you place 3 counters on it, and then if it battles a monster, you just remove 1 at the end of the damage step, and if you don't have a counter, you destroy it at the end of the damage step. And then next up, we have Tetran over here. So you place 3 counters on it. If this card is attacked or attacked, you remove a counter, and if you can't remove a counter, you have to destroy it. And then once per turn, you can remove a counter on this card and destroy 1 spell trap card on the field. So this one actually has a different effect, which is actually pretty decent. And then next up, we have Crystal Core over here. So this one, you place 3 counters on it, and then if it attacks or is attacked, you remove 1. And then once per turn in your main phase, you can change 1 face-up attack position monster your opponent controls to face-up defense positions. So that's kind of nice, but more than likely, you should be able to attack over most things in the deck because most of them are pretty hefty except for the Tetran. But Tetran has a pretty decent effect, which is the ability to pop back row. And you also get that small boost of 500. Now, next up, we have 2 copies of Max C, 1 Raigeki, 1 Day of Pepperoni, 3 Bada Cupidity or Desires. We got Soul Charge, Upstart, Triple Terraforming, 1 Book of Moon, Triple Twin Twisters, Triple Boss Rush, Triple Great Fortress Zelos. So this is the card that really makes the deck. And of course, Boss Rush, because this card lets you add Boss Rush, and it protects them, and it gives them extra additional attack. And then on top of that, you get to get an additional counter. I'm wondering if there's any other good cards that you can place counters on. I don't know, maybe someone... No, I don't think you can do Magical Citadel. I don't know, is there any good cards that you can like throw counters on that are relevant right now in the game? I don't really know of any at the moment. I know there's like Magical Citadel, but isn't that I think that's a field spell. Anyways, Magical Citadel. Yeah, this one is actually a field spell anyways, so I think that that's kind of irrelevant. But like, what other cards can we put counters on? I really don't know, because you get to place 1 counter on a monster that can be used for its own effect. Then this is a spell anyways, so yeah, you would need monster. I don't know, Breaker Magical Warrior? But nonetheless, then we got Bottomless Compulse and Psalm. I think you should play like the other, like you can play the other Psalms. I think that's just overall better, but obviously you guys can change it up, and this is like a brief deck profile. Basically, it's just 3 of like everything in the deck is how the guy built it. But as far as the extra deck, you guys saw, you could definitely make things in the extra deck. I mean, Cyber Dragon Nova was made, and then just to throw it on top, you get the number 21. And then you can make, again, just other things. We saw multiple times Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, which is a great card. After you do a bunch of damage to your opponent, if they are playing a deck that's combo heavy, you throw this out, and then they can't really Yu-Gi-Oh! And then you win at that point. Heck, throw in Vandy's Emptiness, and your opponent can't Yu-Gi-Oh! Even harder when you have this out on board. But anyways, guys, that's the new B.E.S. Let me know your thoughts on it. Do you guys think it's good? Do you think it's going to be meta? Or do you think it's just like, meh? For me, right now, I think it's potentially okay. It's a really simple deck to make a tower, so to speak. But I think towers overall is just much better. But you can throw these out much faster. And obviously, towers is banned. So I don't know why Konami making every archetype given a, you can't be destroyed by battle, can't be targeted, can't destroy by card effects. Like, but tower still has to be banned. Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! 2016. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys give a like button, a titty slap. And I am signing out.